This week on Dancing with the Stars was music video night, as our remaining 8 couples did dances that are inspired by music videos, with guest judge Paula Abdul. How's it going, guys? It's Eric Sharkey, aka Dance with the Stars Superfan, back with another video. And last night was nothing but wicked, from the dances to the team dances, because the team dances were the most exciting part of last night. And towards the end of the show, we had a shocking elimination. Also, if you guys like this video, or if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and smash that like button and ring that bell to get notified for more Dancing with the Stars content from my channel. First up is Laylee and Brandon dancing the salsa to Whenever, Wherever by Shakira. As a matter of fact, Shakira is her role model, and she has met her a couple of times. Derek said her hips didn't lie, and he said there were hazardous moments that were kind of wild. Bruno said the dance shouldn't have some hesitation when it comes to the lifts. Even though Carrie Ann is known as the lift police, it didn't matter to her because she liked to dance a lot. Although she had some technical issues with the lifts, she was rocking the hips, and if Shakira was watching this, she would be so proud of her. So for their salsa, they will receive 8s from Derek, Paula, and Bruno, and a 9 from Carrie Ann, which is a 33 out of 40. Next up is Ariana and Pasha dancing the cha-cha to I'm a Slave for You by Britney Spears. All 4 of the judges said she did a fantastic job of portraying Britney Spears into the dance. Ariana told us that she had been practicing the dance moves that were in the music video, and she even taught Pasha some of the moves, and they pulled it off extremely well. Even though Bruno wants her to work on her foot placement, it was still another great dance. So for their cha-cha, they received 9s from Carrie Ann, Derek, and Bruno, and a 10 from Paula, which is a 37 out of 40. Next up is Harry and Riley dancing jazz to It's Gonna Be Me by NSYNC. Bruno said the sync wasn't always on. Carrie Ann said there were some positive moments, and there were some moments that weren't good. And Derek wants to see some connected tissue in that dance. I did see some moments that were good. When he was dancing with the boys, he was dancing more, and when he was dancing with Riley, he kind of shuts off a little bit. But the audience really liked the dance though. Also, give thanks to Lance Bass for helping them out. So for their jazz routine, they receive all 6s from the judges, which is a 24 out of 40. Next up is Jason and Daniela dancing jazz to Take On Me by Aha. Even though Carrie Ann liked the dance, she felt kind of underwhelmed. Paula said it was a wonderful performance, and Bruno loved the elements in that dance, and he said it was a strong performance. Despite some minor issues with the dance that Carrie Ann and Derek pointed out, it was still another great dance. So for their jazz routine, they received 8s from Carrie Ann and Derek, a 10 from Paula, and a 9 from Bruno, which is a 35 out of 40. Next up is Allison and Sasha dancing the quick step to Candyman by Christina Aguilera. Derek said this was her best dance. Paula said she couldn't keep her eyes off the dance. Bruno said it was a proper quick step, and Carrie Ann didn't have much to say. She agreed with all 3 of the judges. I gotta say, Allison really exceeded all my expectations. She glided across the floor nicely, she was light on her feet, and she didn't miss a single step. And I have to agree with Derek. This was indeed her best dance by far. So for their quick step, they received 8s from Carrie Ann, Derek, and Bruno, and a 9 from Paula, which is a 33 out of 40. Next up is Sochi and Val dancing jazz to Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani. Bruno noticed some issues in that dance, and Derek said the dance was disconnected. I really liked the moves in that dance, and she not only had the energy, she had the personality in that dance. I did notice an incident where she was about to put on the band jacket and the hat with the help of some of the dancers, and even though the hat slipped off, she kept going, and that's all that matters. Also, she looked good wearing that outfit and that blonde wig. So for their jazz routine, they received 9s from Carrie Ann and Paula, and 8s from Derek and Bruno, which is a 34 out of 40. Next up is Charity and Artem dancing jazz to All For You by Janet Jackson. I thought the dance was a little bit better than last week, and Charity and some of the female dancers did a great job dancing together, but the judges wanted to see a little bit more power from her. We are starting to see some of it, but she needs a little bit more. So for their jazz routine, they will receive all 8s from the judges, which is a 32 out of 40. Last up is Barry and Peta dancing the quick step to I'm Still Standing by Elton John. As he was dancing, I did notice some mistakes, and the one moment where both of them were going side by side, Peta was jumping while Barry wasn't. If they would have danced side by side without the jump, it would have suited Barry well. On the positive side, Derek said his frame was better, and the judges mentioned that even though there were a few mistakes, he is always a joy to watch. So for their quick step, they received all 7s from the judges, which is a 28 out of 40. Since Ariana and Pasha received the highest score from their first dance, they got immunity, which means they don't have to compete in the dance-off next week. Now that we've got to the dances, let's move on to the team dance round. It is between Team For Everybody versus Team Youngin Style. Allison and Sasha, Ariana and Pasha, Barry and Peta, and Jason and Daniela were on Team For Everybody, and Charity and Artem, Harry and Riley, Lele and Brandon, and Sochi and Val were Team Youngin Style. First up is Team Youngin Style dancing the Gundam Style. That dance got Derek up out of his chair as he came across the judges table. It was a high energy dance and it was so much fun. All 4 of the judges praised them for their effort, especially Harry because he picked the best players. Also, Bruno said he is a team player. And there was this one moment which was my favorite part when Harry picked up Charity and Artem was able to catch her. That was phenomenal. So for their dance, they received all 10s from the judges, which is a perfect 40, which means that team dance received the first perfect score of the season. And last up, our Team For Everybody dancing freestyle to Everybody Backstreet's Back by the Backstreet Boys. In the rehearsal room, Backstreet Boys member and season 29 participant AJ McLean came into the rehearsal room and helped them out. Even though Carrie Ann, Derek, and Bruno noticed that there were some issues in that dance, the bright side is they said it was a fun dance. So for their dance, they received 9s from Carrie Ann, Derek, and Bruno, and a 10 from Paula, which is a 37 out of 40. If I had to pick between Team Youngin Style or Team For Everybody, I would say I would pick Team Youngin Style because I like their dance just a little better. All in all, I really like both teams because they did a phenomenal job. Now let's take a look at the leaderboard from last night with their scores from their dances from the first round and the team dances combined. There is a 2-way tie at the top of the leaderboard with 74 points are Ariana and Pasha and Sochi and Val. Lele and Brandon with 73 points. Charity and Artem and Jason and Daniela tied with 72 points. Allison and Sasha with 70 points. Barry and Peta with 65 points. And Harry and Riley at the bottom with 64 points. So the best dancer of the night was Ariana Maddox, and the improvement of the night was Allison Hannigan. Now, let's get to the results. The couples who are safe and moving on to next week are Ariana and Pasha, Harry and Riley, Sochi and Val, Jason and Daniela, and the last couple safe are Allison and Sasha. Barry and Peta, Charity and Artem, and Lele and Brandon were in jeopardy, while they were not necessarily the bottom 3. The 7th couple eliminated were Lele and Brandon, while the other 2 couples were safe and moving on to next week. This was not only a shocking elimination, this elimination got their jaws dropping. I was kind of surprised to see this one, and I kind of thought Barry was going home, but at least he has another week. I was also surprised to see Charity in jeopardy because she has Bachelor Nation rallying behind her. Brandon stated that they should have gone home at this time because Lele was starting to progress week by week, but it is what it is. At least he had his best finish as of right now, which is 8th. The competition is winding down, and we have 7 couples left. Next week will be Whitney Houston night, and Billy Porter is not only going to be guest judging, he is also going to be performing as well. The 7 remaining couples will be dancing to songs by Whitney Houston. With the exception of Ariana and Pasha, the other 6 couples will be competing in the dance-off next week, so be sure to tune into that. So anyways, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Eric Sharkey, aka Dance with Stars Superfan. Catch you next time.